The world is worried about a recession. There is no doubt that a downturn is coming. Leading economies are predicting a slowdown. What about India? Does India face a recession too? How is the Indian economy poised?
The rail strike or the war in Ukraine and what happens in China with shutdowns, those are all sort of things that can really derail the economy, and everybody knows that. And we've been dealing with them for quite a period of time. But if you look at the core economy, our team has a mild recession predicted in the middle of 2023.
Now, a day after the United States Federal Reserve hiked interest rates for the second consecutive time, worrying government data now shows that the US economy has actually contracted. That this contraction for the second straight quarter is fueling the fears of a recession.
A recent survey says India has zero probability of slipping into recession. While like other Asian economies, India has largely remained resilient to economic headwinds as compared to Europe and the United States. It has its share of challenges as well.
Are we heading towards a recession in 2023? With so many prominent companies like Google, Meta, Amazon laying off and shredding their workforce count, is it right to say that the recession has begun? Is India also under the threat of going under recession? This is Syed Mustafa. If you're looking for the answers, then you have reached the right place. I guarantee you'll be getting all these answers. So let's get started. Let's understand what is recession. GDP, gross domestic product. In simple terms, the total value of goods and services produced in a country. If the GDP drops consecutively for 2 quarters, then that country is said to be going through a recession. If that phase continues for a long time, then that gets transformed into a depression, something similar to the Great Depression of the 1920s. COVID-19, China burned down, the Russia-Ukraine war are few of these factors which have laid down the foundation for a global economic slowdown. Adding fuel to the fire was the Fed Reserve hiking the policy rate for the central bank in US due to the spiking inflation which had reached 7.7% in October. Now let's come back to India. Our Honorable Finance Minister made a statement that India has no chance of going under recession and the growth will be in double digits. That's a big statement to make because as per the figures, in Q1, India reported a growth rate of 13.5%, whereas the forecasted rate was 15.2%. In Q2, it drastically went down to 6.2%. The question is, why did this happen? The answer is simple. RBI, Reserve Bank of India, hiked the repo rate. Repo rate is the interest rate at which RBI lends money to the banks. And this in turn increases the interest rates which the end consumers have to pay to the banks, leading to decline in money supply, reduced borrowing power, and eventually it leads to a dip in the gross domestic product of the country. The fact here is simple. If the countries like US, UK, Russia, China, who are the leading economic powers around the world, face any slowdown in their economy, or there is a situation where they have to fight out inflation and take drastic steps to control their economy, then that eventually impacts the other nations, specifically the developing ones. So my dear friends, all we need to do is watch out how the US market performs in the early 2023, whether the Federal Reserve is going to increase the interest rates further, and the political turbulence around the globe will decide if we are going to continue or have a further impact of the recession or recover or flourish with an expansion phase ahead. If you like my content, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with my next video very soon. Till then, stay safe. Thank you. Signing off.